I can't tell you enough about this men's wellness check. So my car's been kind of sputtering here and there, so I had to take a couple Ubers late last week, and the conversations that I had with some guys in the car were fantastic. The first guy, we talked about relationships. He was asking me a lot of questions about the length of my relationship, how it ended, why it came to that. And I had no problem with being fully transparent with a complete stranger because he was a married man and he was wondering how he keeps those things going without it leading down a path that can lead basically to the end of a marriage. And I just basically told him, I said, be the best communicator that you can, listen effectively, and don't be afraid to actually speak your thoughts and your feelings. Those can be two different things. So because you have to keep the trust, and the trust comes with the honesty, and that also comes with, as a man, your composure in being able to relay that information effectively. And so, we knuckle bumped it out, and he was on his way, and I was extremely grateful for that. The next guy, he was telling me about having some money issues and how he had reached out to people that he knew to borrow some money, and it still wasn't working out, and he was actually taking me to get my car from the shop. And so I was telling him, hey man, I'm in the same boat, but I said the upside that you have is that you have a circle of people that you can reach out to in that context and be able to say, hey, I need some help. Even if they can't help you, the blessing is that you have that circle of friends. And it's important to know, because a lot of times men with the rate of self-deletion and life-ending measures that they often take into their own hands come from feeling isolated, feeling overwhelmed, and not having a source or a community in which to, even if you're not asking for help, just to vent to. And it's in a very important part. So he understood that, and he, you could see the wheels turn. He said, yeah, you're right, that all of these things are important. Men, speak to each other, even if it's just a guy that's just standing in line, whatever. There is so much more that you have in common than not. As a matter of fact, my third story, this is going to be called The Three Wise Men, because they all imparted something to me. One of my coworkers, we were just out having a slice of pizza, and we were talking about things, and how summer break for us means less sleep, because with younger kids, you don't always have the opportunity for them to be off doing something or being able to do things themselves. So I said, it's interesting. This is why we have more things in common than not, just as human beings across the board. Something as simple as children, love, relationships, birth, death, all of those things are very common across the board. We experience them. And he shared with me a lot of things about his thoughts on long relationships, marriages, parenting, things like that. And we just got to go back and forth. And even though it wasn't a vent sort of moment or an ask for help sort of moment or a solving thing, at the end of it, I thanked him for sharing. And that's just a wellness in itself. I felt great. Just, here's a guy that I see all the time. He's a great guy. And I got to sit and learn a little bit more about him and the culture where he's from, the country that he's from. So, guys, ladies, I'm sure that there's something, but this is important for men. And if you really understand and agree, you will know that there aren't a lot of outlets like this for men. And men have to be able to overcome the stigma of walk tall, carry a big stick, suck it up, blah, 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 this and that. Yes, you definitely want to stay in your masculine frame and be about your manhood, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't have outlets and places that you can express yourself, especially when you are in need. So I'm going to leave it at that. What are your thoughts? Ace up the sleeve, advice, comment, experience. I would love to hear it. If you haven't clicked the subscription, please do it. We would love to have you here. Notifications, click all so then you get all the content. And likes, please hit the likes. Even if you hit the dislikes, I won't be mad at you, but that engagement helps the channel. I'm going to leave it at that, and I will see you guys very soon. Peace, love, unity, solidarity. Wellness checks. It's so cool.